I was 9 years old when I started living alone in a half-built 7-story building in Kabul. My family lived elsewhere, but I was sent to the capital to oversee the construction site. In reality, the building had been abandoned halfway through, and someone needed to make sure nothing was stolen or destroyed. That someone became me. There was no electricity, no proper doors, no finished windows. At night, the entire structure turned into complete darkness, no nearby lights, no houses, nothing. Just concrete and wind moving through empty floors. Every evening I followed the same routine. I would let the workers leave, then walk floor by floor checking everything: doors, windows, anything the wind could damage. If I missed something, the building would make sure I noticed it later through the noise it created at night. Then I had to go down to the basement. That part was my worst nightmare. The main gate was down there, and I hated going to close it. The stairwell had no lights at all, and I had to walk down in total darkness using only memory and touch. It always felt longer than it should be. Every step down felt like I was leaving the world behind. My father called me every night just to confirm I locked it. Not because of anything supernatural. Because kidnappings were real. Children from wealthy families disappeared often enough that everyone treated it like a normal risk. So I learned early: act poor, stay quiet, don't draw attention. But I was still 9. And I was alone in a building that wasn't finished, miles away from anyone. At night, I slept on a thin mattress on the top floor. Sometimes I would wake up between 2 and 3 a.m. and find myself already moving, walking through unfinished hallways or standing in rooms I don't remember entering. No memory of how I got there. Just the feeling that something was aware of me when I was awake like that. At first, I thought it wasn't real. I convinced myself it was just tiredness or imagination. But then something strange started happening. The more I thought about it, the more it seemed to happen. At some point, I even started feeling like thinking about it was making it worse, as if I was somehow pulling it into reality by focusing on it too much. To cope, I tried to act strong. There was a mirror in one of the unfinished hallways. Sometimes at night, when everything was completely dark, I would stand in front of it. At first it was just to calm myself. I would stare at my reflection, make faces, try to convince myself I wasn't afraid. But over time, it changed. My focus would lock in. My thoughts would slow down. It felt like I wasn't fully choosing to stay there anymore, I just wouldn't leave. Time would stop making sense. And later, I would realize I had been standing there far longer than I thought, completely disoriented, like I had lost pieces of time. After a while, I stopped going near the mirror at night. It didn't feel like it was helping me anymore. It felt like it was changing something in me. I would even avoid it during the day for some reason. Then one morning, everything escalated. I woke up late. My body felt heavy, like I hadn't slept properly in days. My feet were completely numb. When I pulled the blanket off, I saw blood. Not a small amount. It was everywhere. On the mattress. My clothes. My hands. My face. At first I didn't understand what I was looking at. I just sat there trying to process it. My hands had small cuts. My feet hurt when I stood. Nothing serious enough to explain what I was seeing. But there was blood in places I don't remember going. I followed it downstairs. Drops on the stairs. Smears on the walls. Marks through unfinished floors like I had been walking injured without noticing. The worst was the 4th floor. The center room had the most blood. I stood there for a long time without moving. My hand was pressed against the wall without me realizing it. Like I had already been there before I woke up. I never found what caused it. No broken glass. No sharp metal. Nothing that made sense. Just blood across a building I was alone in. Didn't he go to school that day? I cleaned what I could before the workers arrived. I didn't want anyone reporting it to my father. I didn't know how I would explain it. Plus, I had abusive parents at some point. I told one of my classmates who was also my friend. I expected him to brush it off or tell me it was nothing. Instead, he got genuinely scared. His reaction made everything worse for me. Because instead of feeling reassured, I started thinking, if even he thinks this is wrong, then something is actually wrong. After that, it didn't stop. I started waking up more often at night. Same hours. Same feeling. And always the same certainty, I was not alone in that building. Especially near that 4th floor room. Even during the day, I avoided it. At night, I started tying a thin string around my toe before sleeping so I would wake up if I moved too much. It worked sometimes. But not always. Because the worst part was never what I could see. It was the feeling I had when I woke up in the middle of the night that something else was also moving through the building. And it knew exactly where I was.